Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara Ohgiya, and we just started chapter 5 of Ohgiya's route, so we are just going to pick up where we left off. I made a promise with Ohgiya. Did I say Ohgiya? Ohgiya, whatever. Close enough. Someday we would go together to the flower fields by the cliffs. After that, much later in the night, I returned home. Although I lie in bed, I couldn't get a wink of sleep. I was too busy wondering how I would make his dream come true. How would I help him escape that prison called Yoshiwara? I wanted to free his pure heart and release it into the air like it had wings. The thoughts ran through my head all the way until morning. And every night for the next few days was much the same. One morning, as the eastern sun climbed the sky, I finally decided to act. I'd realized my feelings for Ohgiya were, in fact, love. Nothing to do now but admit it. It's time my mother hears my true feelings. I put my thoughts into words to encourage myself. It's gonna be drama. In the end, all that mattered to the family was that I produced a child. If that was the case, I made myself presentable and went to find my mother. I will sleep with whatever man I want, Mother! What's this you wanted to talk about? Well, there's something I want you to know. I finally had gathered enough courage to confront her. Musashi had come too and was standing behind me. I took one big breath and stared sharply into her eyes. Mother, I intend to make Ohgiya of Ohgiya. I was looking at Ohgiya when I was trying to say Ohgiya, and I'm like, no. Ohgiya of Ohgiya. Wow, that's a tongue twister. My husband. Look at Musashi. The fuck? It was like the air had completely frozen. True, it was a bold statement to hear all of a sudden, but Musashi and my mother seemed shocked, well past expectation. Spacey, what did you say? My lady, the Somei family will not stand for a courtesan as a husband. Besides, he's still an apprentice. It's absurd. We won't stand for a courtesan as a husband. Well, not going to get a husband otherwise. Also, it's funny that she's got a problem now, but she didn't in Utsusemi's route. Interesting. I know. Then why even suggest such a naive thing? Such a young man would be utterly useless to help in the shop. She sighed, a harsh expression stuck on her typically pleasant face. But Mother, I'm still training to help too. We could learn together. It wouldn't be a problem. Please. You know nothing, Spacey. Life is not a fairy tale. I regret having to say it, but a husband? It's far too early for that. Please rethink this. Really? It's far too early to think about a husband. Not far too early to get myself knocked up by someone I paid to do it. I'm just saying. I just want to call that out. You too? Musashi and my mother pointed out my foolishness with pale faces. I had thought at least Musashi might understand where I was coming from. Okay. I'm sorry, I just thought of this, and I hope someone else was thinking of this too. Now, we can't, I was just like, run the fuck away together. Oh my god. Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? If in this route, we took Ohgiya, and we were going to run away to the mainland together. And we meet other Spacey from Kikuya. And they were like, when they wrote Kikuya, then they were like doing this one. They're like, oh, you know what we should do? You know that couple that she helped run away in her prologue? Should be this bitch running away with Ohgiya. There you go. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. That's probably not how this is gonna go. But I'm just so excited thinking about that. That would be the most amazing fucking... Like, okay. You think in this one, like, oh, they talk about Kikuya and there's the other boys. Yeah, that's great and all, but that would be so much fucking better if this were happening. Oh my god. I'd be like, bravo! Bravo, game developers. That was genius. Because that shit would be genius. Oh my god. Look, we can only pretend. Holy shit. I had thought at least Musashi might understand where I was coming from. Even so, I wasn't ready to give up. Okay, I'm just saying it could happen in any other route, but I'm still gonna hold that in my heart. Like, I just feel like that needs to be canon. Whether it actually happens in the game or not, we're just going to pretend. It had taken days of thinking to come to this decision, and I wasn't letting it go. Because we gave her a nice, beautiful kimono. You know, like the woman who was running away to other Spacey and Kikuya gave her a beautiful kimono and stuff like that. And I'm just saying, we have the money for that, and we are a clothier, so we could have nice I'm just saying it kind of fits. Like, you know, right? You're like, oh my fucking god. Shit, if that doesn't happen in this, I'm gonna be slightly disappointed, but my heart had already been stolen by Ohgiya. That's why I had to, by any means, save him from that prison. And see, I mean, you feel it too. I do not agree to this. Not in 1,000 years. You would defile the honor of our family, built upon by generations. I had to do something. Comply with her. Fuck that shit! Bring Musashi into it. Probably not good. Argue with her. Fuck yeah! I don't care. This has to be right. Because I want to do it anyway. But let's go. Okay, let's go to the guy. Argue with her it is. Fuck yeah. There is no way that could have been wrong. Come on. If it was like comply with her. Bitch, what the hell? We gotta stand up and fight for our man. Honor has nothing to do with this. I will purchase him no matter what you or Musashi say. I turned on her, defiant and not wanting to give up. However, she then turned her attack on Musashi. Musashi, what is the meaning of this? I thought I could trust you for what happens in Yoshiwara. I'm sorry, ma'am. I know you spoil her, but if you don't make things right... I understand. It's not his fault. How bad is it? My heart was crushed by the sight of Musashi apologizing over and over. He endured the shame with downcast eyes. I do feel bad for him, it's not his fault, but like... My lady is yet to choose a courtesan. Instead, it's clear that she shows affection for Ohgiya. My goodness! Her face became as pale as a ghost. I can't believe my ears. If she hasn't chosen a courtesan, she isn't even close to conceiving a child. And I never will, unless you let me buy the man I love. That's it, Spacey. Close your vagina down for business. Shut the womb down! No one's coming in this alley. Closed! Beep, beep, back the fuck up. Get out. Mother stood up in anger. She was more furious than I'd ever seen her before. I understand now. You had one job, to bear a child. God damn this antiquated bullshit. Yet you flirt with some apprentice? You shame our family. You don't even deserve to be the heir. Mother, wake up from your dreams, Spacey. The world does not revolve around you. You seem to think it revolves around you, bitch. Do you understand? Yes, Mother. A wrenching feeling tore at my stomach. Why would nothing go my way? Rules and honor kept blocking my path. My mother sighed and turned her back to me. Oh, you know what? She gonna be changing her tune when you pack your shit and run away. I didn't raise you to be like this. I could hear the disappointment in her voice. Not only had she ruined my dream, she had also denied involvement in the near 20 years of my life. Okay. All right, that makes me feel better. We're like 19, pushing 20. He's probably like 12. Okay, that makes me feel better about like the relationships and the young boys. They're basically 20. I feel a little less creepy about it. It's still a little creepy for me, but like it's less weird when they're like 18 to 20 than it is like, oh, well, he's a young boy and I'm like 19 and he's like 16. I know that that's like only a 3-year difference. But I'm too old to be creeping on 16-year-olds. Even when I play games where we're a teenage girl creeping on 16-year-old, it still feels weird, and I just have to pretend that they're not teenagers. Okay. I'm just saying. Also, the lolly boys. I don't care if they're like 25. If they look like they 12, I'm out, bitch. I don't like... It's creepy. Okay. I get it. That's some people's kink. Oh, I like the girl. Like some guys like the girls that look young and some girls like the guys who look young, but I'm like, no. Look, I love Ohgiya in this for her, but personally, dear Lord, no. But he is an adorable little baby deer and you just kind of want to protect him. Like the route's good. But like, Is he going to be my favorite? No, because he's too innocent and adorable. But I still want to protect him. Just hold him, keep him safe, snuggle him like a fluffy bunny. Because, bunnies are cute. Anyway, a while later, I felt so crushed that I sat in my room and cried alone. Perhaps to them, my desires seemed pointless and backwards, but it was what I wanted more than anything ever before. Ohgiya. I hugged the letters he wrote me to my chest. In my sorrow, tears built and fell from my eyes. And then, my lady, I must have fallen asleep as Musashi's voice had woken me up. My lady, may I come in? No. Good. I was like, look, I know it's not really his fault, but he's siding with our mom because he has to. He's not allowed to have the balls to stand up to our mom. But I'm still going to resent him a little, so I'm glad she's like, no. Mad at you. Good, be mad at him. You have to be mad at somebody, so it's just easier to be mad at Musashi. It really is, right? It's easier to be mad at you. Because you're there, and I can't be mad at my mom because then she'll, like, disown me or shit, so. My face was so swollen from crying, I didn't want anyone to see me. He gave up and instead continued from behind the door. Please forgive me for earlier. No, it was wrong for me to abandon you just because your mother was there. I never wanted for you to suffer like this. Had I known it would come to this, I would have done more to make you pick a courtesan. But again, he's like, if I knew it was going to be like this, I would have forced you to fuck someone you didn't love. That not exactly an apology, asshole. His usual strong, manly voice quivered feebly. He doesn't have a strong, manly voice when I do it. I knew he didn't want for this either. But even so, please leave me alone for a while. I could only mutter those rude, heartless words. Girl, it's okay. You can be a little rude and heartless sometimes. It's all right. Justified. Perhaps my mother was right and I was young and stupid. Then she shouldn't be forcing you to have a baby. Musashi left without saying another word. I cried, frustrated at how weak I was. After that, for some time I stopped going to Yoshiwara entirely. That is, despite the promise I had made to Ohgiya. I had no desire for him to see how pathetic I was. Still, I wanted to meet him more than ever. With the lack of Ohgiya, color and joy drained from my life. Good, then your mother will be like, what is wrong with you? Fuck off, bitch. Where's the noose I can hang myself with? You're like, this is a nice long piece of fabric. Oh, you like that fabric? You're finally getting involved. No, I'm just thinking it'll hang nicely from the rafters and I can hang myself because you make me want to kill myself, mother. Just, I'm just... I'm just saying, throw some guilt on her so she feels like shit. She kind of deserves to feel like shit. She's being a bitch. Look, sometimes mothers know best and you should listen to your mom. But in this case, no, she doesn't know best. She's being a stodgy bitch. So, she hurt us. We should do things to her. I'm just vindictive and evil, and don't ever listen to shit that I say, okay? Like, I'm just a terrible human being. Anyway. Then, a letter from him arrived. Days have passed since your last letter. Is everything all right? If you're troubled because of me, I pray that my feelings will reach you. May they protect you and your precious heart from pain. He's so fucking cute. I have diabetes now. It was a touching letter that showed his kindness. Ohgiya. His words moved me and healed my broken heart. Softly and warmly like sunlight. As I closed my eyes, I could picture his innocent smile. I stood up and went straight to my desk. I had to find a way to help him. In this fake and cruel world, only his heart shone true and pure. You had one job, to bear a child, yet you flirt with some apprentice? You shame our family. You don't even deserve to be the heir. I hope the fuck we run away. I'm just saying. My expectations are like fucking high for that. The words my mom spoke the other day came back to me. If I chose Ohgiya, I would have to be ready for the consequences. But as a young and ignorant girl, what could I really do? My answer for helping him was still far, far away. The next night, After a long break, I finally decided to go back to Yoshiwara with Musashi. It was apparent something was happening when I glanced out of the carriage. Even more so than a busy night, the street was packed with people. What's going on? Why are there so many people? There's supposed to be a festival in Inari's shrine tonight. I'd assume that's why. Musashi explained as the carriage reached the tea house. However, Musashi went to announce my arrival but came back with a distressed face. What's wrong? Tonight, it seems that Gakuto and Utsusemi are taken. Oh. Ohgiya, of course, was still an apprentice who couldn't have guests. I wouldn't be able to see him without the help of one of the others. My spirits dropped along with my hope. What would you like to do? Shall we at least stop by the festival? No, I'm not in the mood for that. Do you mind if we just walk home? Very well. But there may have been rumors of crooks around here, so stay near me. All right, I'll be careful. Good, maybe they'll murder me. I just want to be like overly fucking dramatic to make everybody feel my pain and like feel guilty for being dicks. I'm vengeful. I climbed out of the carriage. Yoshiwara was so full of energy and passion, you could feel it in the air. People drowned in lust, forgetting reality to escape in a night's dream. That sounds fantastic. However, the tragedy of not seeing Ohgiya snuffed the light in my heart. Wait, I got confused for a second, because I'm like, Takagawa's the guy here. He knows who we are. He met us. So why is he asking if we're us? Doesn't he... Rude! You don't remember me? That makes me feel, like, really disappointed about choosing you next. I'm just saying. Like, are you Spacey, the one crazy for Ohgiya? What? I turned around upon hearing a deep voice call my name. It was Takagawa from Ohgiya, who I had met twice before, and yet he doesn't know who you are. I mean, he gets all sorts of pussy, so I mean, shouldn't have phrased it that way, but I mean, seriously, he gets fucking everything, so... Yeah, I'm not surprised he doesn't remember us. He's like, if you took your clothes off, I might recognize you. But you've never seen me naked, that's why I don't recognize you. Wow. Wow.
Hi, what you doing? These are big ass why you got feathers all out of your body? Why are your feathers falling out of your body? That's gross. It's a big feather. It's a big fluffy feather. Usually they have little fluffy feathers. That one's big. Just like, why are your feathers falling out of your body? Are you just molting or are you picking your feathers out? You shouldn't be picking your feathers out. You have tons of toys.
I'm sorry, just the corner, like I just turned over and there's just like a pile of feathers. Like, what the fuck is happening? My bird's falling apart. Anyway. Okay. Had he been out sending a guest home for the night? Early night for them. Jesus. I don't want to hear it from someone who knows nothing. What? Where did that come from? You're a bit rough around the edges. I wonder what he sees in you. Rude! He snorted as if insulting Ohgiya and me. Musashi, let's hurry home. Are you sure, my lady? Didn't you want to... I changed my mind. I didn't want to stay any longer around that courtesan. It's so funny, like, we're so bitter that we're like, fuck Takagawa. Like, I mean, he's literally like, hey, aren't you Spacey, the one who's really into Ohgiya? And we're like, I don't want to hear it from you, bitch. Like, he's rude to us because we were rude to him. He literally just, like, asked, aren't you the one who's in love with Ohgiya? Yeah, why? You got something... Why, you got news for me? I was, like, thinking he's trying to help us. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm adjusting my headset. It's, like, weird. Anyway. It felt like he could read my heart, and I didn't like that at all. Hey, where are you going? I'm not sure what you're so angry about, but everyone in Ohgiya has heard the rumor about you and Ohgiya already. Huh? I glanced back at him. There were rumors about us? Since when? After hearing that, I had to confront him. Hey! This lady picked me for tonight, alright? He suddenly called out to a worker at the tea house. What? My lady... Takagawa grabbed my arm, so I tried to wrestle myself free. Stop it. You're leaving because Gakuto and Utsusemi are busy, right? I has nothing to do with you. Let me go. I never said I picked you. His sharp eyes pierced into me. I was afraid he could see all my thoughts clear as day. It's like she doesn't get he's trying to help. I knew something was up. Listen, I'll do you a favor and be your partner for tonight. He started rambling nonsense as he pulled me into a room. I feel like she's thinking like he's gonna be my partner. I don't want to but I feel like he's trying to help. But they're trying to make it seem like he's being like a jerk. But I think he's trying to get us in so that we can see Ohgiya. You know what I mean? I don't think they want you to think that, but it's kind of obvious. Before I knew it, I was sitting in the middle of a banquet. I was more concerned about how he heard rumors of us. If the banquet wasn't enough of a surprise, Ohgiya even showed up. Aren't you going to drink? This is a special one I sneaked in from the mainland. No thanks. Won't a courtesan like you get in trouble for breaking the rules? It's a special exception. It always was. The Pleasure District always had exceptions whenever it was convenient. I don't mind her being bitter about that. Except for when it concerned Ohgiya and me, it seemed. And try it. And just a little, okay? I know you trust me. You've been to my room, remember? Ohgiya! Here. And just one cup. But he forced the cup into my hand and filled it to the brim. It's really good. Not bitter at all. It's so refreshing, too. It's like drinking spring water. The two of them gulped and relished its flavor. No one seemed to care about my opinion. Not my family, nor the Pleasure District. I was bound by rules and honor, weighing me down like an iron jacket. All I wanted in my life was real love. Ohgiya's the only one that can give it to me. I muttered aloud, guzzling the sake in frustration. It scorched my throat and put tears in my eyes. Takagawa set down his drink on the tray. You're suffering too, aren't you? Huh? A deep and dark light shone in the haughty man's eyes. And the more you hold on to love, and the more it'll seep through your fingers. Yoshiwara will tear you apart and pick your bones. You're a smart girl. You should know without saying, if you play by rules and honor, it's a game you can't win. That's all there is to it. I know what you're trying to say, but even if I understand it, my heart won't listen. Why wasn't I freely allowed to love anyone I want? I mean, because most of the men are trapped in here, so I mean, technically that's why, but I get what you. Why can't I have the man that I want? I want to pick him. Why won't you let me pay for him? That is a question I can't answer. It wasn't like I could stop my feelings. I looked straight down. The reflection in my cup showed a girl on the verge of tears. A girl who was helpless to save her first love. Do you love Ohgiya that much? Takagawa? He asked earnestly in his deep, penetrating voice. It had a strange power that made it impossible not to answer. In the back of my head, I remembered when Ohgiya and I made that promise. I promise I won't give up. His faint, trembling voice rang in my ears. He had a pure, immaculate heart and charming smile. He was my first love. I stared hard at my reflection and found courage in my eyes. Raising my face, I looked at Takagawa with confidence. He's all I think about. I have to help him. I love him. All right. All good answers, I feel like. Do you really love him that much? I love him. Good answer. I feel good about that one. I have to help him. That's a little... That could be more intense than I love him, but also less intense. Like, I need to help him. That's not answering, do you love him? You know what I mean? I don't know. And he's all I think about. Just sounds more like obsession. So it's one of these two. I don't know what I would choose. I don't know. I don't know. It would be one of those, though. All right. We'll just go straight to the guide. It is... Ooh. One is the 3-point. One is the 5-point. 5-point. I have to help him. He's too pure and innocent to be stuck in this cage. I like that. Takagawa stared back at me, his eyes dark and deep. Takagawa downed his cup of sake and crossed his arms. If you love him that much, we better do something about it. He said in a powerful voice that stripped all doubt. What followed was Asagiri and Takagawa telling me of the situation with the Geha. Highly anticipated to bring in loads of money, he was fostered from a young age. That was why the search for his deflowering partner was such a big issue. But then, the biggest problem is the debt from Ageha's mother. Debt? That's the reason he was sold to the brothel in the first place. It wasn't enough to cover it all, so it's on the head of Ohgiya now. When his mother gave him up, she was crying for days. I had no idea his past was like that. I remembered what Ohgiya had told me. He remembered very little about his young life. Just that his mother had taught him how to juggle. Here's the thing! Unless they were really poor and they had other debt, you sold your son. That's why he's in debt. Or was it because she owed so much money to Ohgiya because she came here to get kids that she had to sell her son in order to pay that debt? Like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a possibility. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're racking up all this debt. It's almost like you're gambling, and all of a sudden they're like, and now we're going to take your kidney because you owe us money. Where's my money? And they break your kneecaps and shit, but this time they just take your kid. I mean, damn. This is like some heavy shit, like if you think about it. Like, you got so in debt from going to get dick. Holy shit. That you had to sell one of your kids. I mean, just let that bounce around in your noodle for a while. That's, wow. But if it's like that, how can I even have a chance with the Geha? In this rule-ridden Yoshiwara of all places. You keep bashing the rules here, but Yoshiwara couldn't run without the rules that are in place. Guess why Ohgiya still hasn't been deflowered yet? It's because rules are in place to protect him until a certain age. Which is nice, but it's also creepy that you're like, we have to have these rules so that people don't come in and buy him when he's 15. Gross! I mean, I guess if it was like a young girl like me, well, I mean, I'm like 19, so that'd be creepy too. But like, oh, here's my daughter. She's 16, ready to have a baby. Okay. Fine. Probably better that you have the young kid that's your age than the 30-year-old man, because that's weird. That might be your dad. You don't know. Like, but, I mean, I'm just saying. It's still kind of fucked up, the implications of that. But the implications that the brothel owners would be selling younger boys than they should. Gross. Gross. I mean, I'm not saying that women can't be pedos. I'm just saying anybody being pedo is gross. It's just gross. Just, wow. Anyway. His words were hard to swallow. Mostly because they were true. I have no idea what to do. If he's protected like that, what even are my options?
Well, and the boss needs him because he's the golden goose
That'll bring in the money. Because he's young? Why is he so spectacular over everyone else? I understand in Kikuya, Tokiwa, because he was exotic and different, you know? He was half foreign, like, ooh! I understand him bringing in the money, but like, what's so special about a Geha? He's just like everybody else. Like, is it because he's young and new? Like, it's not like all these other guys are like, oh, old and wrinkled and haggard and like beaten and abused, and they just look terrible, and then you have precious, fresh-faced, beautiful. They're all fucking gorgeous. So like, guess women really like the young bucks? That's creepy. I don't know. Anyway.
Whatever the plan is, he won't give him up unless you compensate for that.
There's little future for you two unless that's taken care of. That's where my plan comes in. He mentioned in a deep voice that made me anxious to hear more. My heart was beating so fast, I thought it might burst. You could deflower him on the premise that you buy him. That way, the rules of Yoshiwara stay intact. What do you mean? Asagiri jumped in to explain since I still wasn't following. Yeah, I'm not following either. Like, I've been trying to purchase him and you told me I couldn't. Because he hasn't been to Flowery. I mean... Or maybe it's the highest bidder? Ooh, that's creepy. Anyway.
And there's a special rule for when a new courtesan is deflowered.
It just... Do you feel a little icky when they keep mentioning that? It's like, oh, this feels so weird.
Whoever gets the honor has to dish out 50 gold coins. You could sweeten the deal by paying off his mother's debt at the same time.
But wouldn't that be a lot of money? If you're the heir of your family, you should be able to afford it. Right? It might be feasible if the family business was mine. But that amount of money was sickening. $50? I don't know what that is in, anyway. But before that, there's another problem. I wasn't very thrilled to hear that. Clenching my fists, I waited in anticipation. We're going to do this the right way, aren't we? I want to do this the wrong way and run away with him. That would be great. Only experienced women could do the deflowering to show him the way. But you're a virgin, aren't you? His words stunned me, and then gorged out a hole in my heart. Damn. Sacrifice for deflowering. Oh God. This is getting kind of intense. There was an enormous barrier between Ohgiya and I. It was my chastity. But you're a virgin, aren't you? I recalled Takagawa's words from the banquet. Even as I walked home, they weighed heavily on my heart. The red lights lining the streets of the pleasure district spun like a vortex in my vision. My legs dragged and lurched as I stumbled forward. Here's the thing, they want an experienced woman. So what, I gotta go have sex with Musashi once and then come back? I've had sex once. Oh, you're experienced. That's not... And it's not like I can go and have sex with another courtesan because then I can't switch to Ohgiya, you know what I mean? So like, I mean, that's tricky. My lady... A dull impact sent me staggering back and into Musashi's arms. I was so out of it I didn't even know what happened. Someone cursed at my carelessness and marched angrily away. Are you hurt, my lady? Do try and be more careful. I'm fine. I completely lost all touch with reality. Somehow or another, I made it to the Yoshiwara gates. Spacey! Just then, a familiar voice pulled me out of my daze. Let's run away together. Ohgiya? I turned around and stared at him, stupefied. After all, I had wanted to see him for so long. But now that he was in front of me, I didn't know what kind of face to make. He took a big step forward and called out to me. His feet stopped at the gates, forbidden to move outside of Yoshiwara. Nevertheless, on his face he wore a smile. Spacey, I saw you back at the tea house. And so you came back to Yoshiwara after all. Yeah. That's great. I got in trouble with the manager last time we talked. That's why I had to keep my distance this time and watch you from afar. But there's something I want to ask you about. His clear voice paused for a moment. He stared straight back at me. As if wanting to say something, his mouth opened and closed. Ohgiya, my mouth refused to work. Here's the thing. We don't have to be the one to deflower him. Like, look, if we were going to be with any of the other courtesans, we know that they've been with other women, right? We can probably still have him as our courtesan after he's been basically deflowered and introduced into being a courtesan. It kind of sucks and that makes it feel weird, but also, otherwise what? I got to go get deflowered to be able to deflower him. Or he's got to get deflowered in order for us to be together. I mean, look. The way they're explaining this is our first time is not going to be with each other. One of us has got to get it laid for us to get laid together. You know what I mean? So, like, he could suck it up and deal and just let some other woman do it. And then we'll be like, so now that he's a courtesan, I can buy him, is what you're saying. Because it's not like you only have one woman there. You know what I mean? Utsusemi's route absolutely proved that when Yoko was like, oh, we're married here now too, ha! Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. So, like, you're not, they're not seeing only one woman, because then you'd be like, I have no choices. You'd be like, he's the only one available. There's a lot of women, not a lot of men, I'm just saying. My mouth refused to work. I couldn't speak and I couldn't even smile. Time passed with us just staring at one another. Get the fuck out of here, Musashi. Musashi glanced at me and was just about to speak. I heard something about you doing my deflowering. So you heard the entire conversation? My legs shook as if my whole body would crumble. If Ohgiya had heard all that. Just a little. Something about money and compensation. That's all you heard? Yeah. Is there more to it? No, I'm just embarrassed you heard because I was a little tipsy. Some traders stopped by the brothel not too long ago. I heard Takagawa say they worked for the Somei family. Is that true? His big eyes looked at me for the answer. It was true. Why was it so hard to admit it? I had to say something before he gets worried. Spacey? His eyes dropped, a troubled expression appearing on his face. That's right. We all want to help you succeed. Thanks. I knew it was true. I'm sorry, I can't. His smile was so full, it might have contained all the happiness in the world. This poor, innocent little bunny. He was so innocent, he would easily believe anybody. How could the world be so cruel to him? Or all the other men here, I'm just saying. My heart ached with pain. By the way, I got some of my favorite incense I was telling you about. Let me know when you come back to the brothel. I'll have Gakuto or Utsusemi use it in their room. Thanks, that's so kind of you. Don't mention it. As long as you're happy, I am too. So cute. It's also weird because normally you have a banquet and then you have a little bit of a private banquet with their man of choice and then you're getting laid. But we've been going there constantly seeing one or the other. We haven't actually picked anyone and they're just like, I mean, I guess they don't care because I'm spending my money, but... He did nothing to hide his blushing cheeks as he smiled. He was far too pure. That's why to him, I was nothing more than an ordinary girl. He looked back and forth between the gates. The rugged, nasty-looking gatekeeper was keeping watch. Spacey, can you come over here for a moment? Oh, okay. It took me that long to notice. Ohgiya and I were standing a dozen feet apart. I took a few steps towards him and walked back into Yoshiwara. And then... His two hands rose and reached out from my face. They gently cradled my head and then... His pink, flowery lips pressed on my forehead. Aw, was he even allowed to do that? After all, he was still just an apprentice. My heart pounded, worried he might get in trouble. Are you worried? Of course. What if you get punished again? No need to worry. See? Huh? I glanced all around us. We were standing amongst a crowd of men and women saying their farewells. Knowing we were also one of them made my cheeks warm up. No one's gonna notice in this crowd. If anyone does, I'll just say a cherry blossom petal was stuck on you. He turned his gaze to the fully blossomed tree that hung over the street. The night breeze sent petals dancing through the air. No worries, then. Yeah. Listening to his charming voice spread a smile across my face. I thought it strange. Just moments before I had been so out of it. Meeting Ohgiya had opened my heart to joy once more. Seeing and talking to him brought happiness back into my life. You'll come again, right? I'll be waiting for you. There's so much I still want to talk about. Yeah, me too. Okay, you take care now. Good night. Thank you. Goodbye. We clasped hands, neither of us wanting to leave. I was reminded that he was a grown man by how tiny my hands felt inside his. Eventually, they let go. I waved one last time and moved away from the gate. Then... Not keep walking. Turn around or stop in place. I think turn around. Because if you keep walking, that just sounds sad. Stop. You're just stopping. I could be adjusting my fucking bra for some shit. You know what I mean? Like, adjusting my shoe. It doesn't mean, like, turning around, though, is turning around. So let's see what the answer is. Turn around! Turn around! Every now and then I fall apart. I'm sorry. Can't say turn around without fucking... Anyway, my terrible singing. I hurried forward and walked beside Musashi. Eventually, I became so restless that I had to look behind me. And there... the distant figure of Ohgiya waved gleefully beneath the cherry blossom. Was he intending to wave until he can't see me anymore? I waved at him one last time before leaving Yoshiwara for good. More than anything, I didn't want Ohgiya to know what was happening. That night, I hurried to bed, trying to keep my mind free of thoughts. But Ohgiya's face as he waved goodbye just wouldn't leave me. It made me want to protect him. I think I'm going to have to stab my mother so I have to become the head of the Some family. Could you fucking imagine? Well, that took a dark turn. I just wanted to run away with him. The next morning, I got ready and called Musashi early in the morning. My lady, what can I do for you? Do you remember the talk I had with mother the other day? Yes? His face turned grim. Was he worried about what I would say next? He should be. He'd never heard my plans with Takagawa and Asagiri since he wasn't there. I still haven't changed my mind about buying Ohgiya. But, my lady, don't worry. I don't intend to ruin my family's honor. I will convince mother that I'm a responsible woman. Make arrangements for a courtesan as quickly as possible. My lady? He was clearly shaken by that command. You mean to... Please, don't make me say any more. Do you not value your body or heart? I do value them, but you clearly fucking don't, and neither does my mother. I know what it is. I'm trusting you'll make the right choice. Musashi clenched his fists and slammed them onto his own knees. I understand. I'll take care of the arrangements. Keep it with Ohgiya, though. I don't want mother to get suspicious. Right. But is this really what you want? Meaning? I know you have feelings for Ohgiya. Here's the thing, though. If we sleep with another courtesan, we can't switch to Ohgiya. Okay, I guess maybe that's what Asagiri meant with like, oh, the deflowering is a special thing. Like, you can buy that privilege, deflower him, and be like, yeah! And then you go back to your normal courtesan, but then we can't date Ohgiya. There seems to be a flaw in this plan. If you go through with this, my lady, I'll do whatever it takes to make Ohgiya mine and make him free. I'll not stand to see someone else deflower him. But you're gonna let someone else deflower you. I mean, girl, alright. Alright. I admire her lady balls. Musashi, please. If this is what you desire, my lady. My bodyguard looked tormented by my decision. We know how badly Ohgiya takes it when it's not us, so. However, he silently obeyed and left the room. Alone in my room, I let out an exhausted sigh. I hadn't the luxury to show weakness anymore. If I wanted to make Ohgiya happy, sacrifices had to be made. I convinced myself it had to be done. Still, it pained me so greatly I dug my head in my hands. Several days later, I headed back to Yoshiwara with Musashi. Oh my god. The arrangements had been made and the time had come. I sat quietly in the room, waiting for someone to come. I wonder who it is. Oh, it's Asagiri. Asagiri, at your service. He bowed deeply at the entrance of the bedroom. Musashi must have picked him after much consideration. Luckily, Asagiri knew the situation with Ohgiya. Plus, compared to Gakuto and Utsusemi, Ohgiya wasn't as likely to find out. I didn't want him to know I abandoned my own chastity for his sake. If he knew, he would probably cry again. I mean, he gonna know when you get to deflower him. Spacey, are you okay? Huh? I can tell how worried you are. I shook my head. My mind was so distraught, I couldn't even try to hide it. Are you sure you want to do this? And just a few days ago you were saying... I looked at him and said, please don't ask. I am to... Oh god, none of these are... Please don't ask. Like, I am. I feel like she's like, I am. I'm fucking sure. Not. But I'm going to pretend I am, and if I say I am, it'll make me feel better about it. So I feel like she would say I am. Ha ha! Please don't ask was number 3, though. I am. For Ohgiya, right? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that. His handsome face warped with sorrow. It's going to be really weird sleeping with Ohgiya in a Ohgiya's route. I'm just saying. If this actually happens, it's going to be weird. Loving someone can be very painful. He crept closer towards me on his knees. His white, slender fingers reached out for my face. But right before they could touch, he stopped. He then quietly laid me down on the bed. I closed my eyes. His hands moved through the darkness, pulling loose my sash. I just wanted it to be over with. Spacey. His quiet, manly voice whispered into my ear. He doesn't have a manly voice when I do. I love that. His deep, sexy voice. Nope. His manly voice. No, not exactly. I'm not doing it quite the justice that the Saint Germain voice is. He's getting the Saint Germain treatment. It's not really a manly voice. He's too delicate. I mean, I could actually see him having a nice, super sexy fucking voice and being like, I wasn't expecting that to come out of a face that pretty, but... My heart felt chilled. I felt trapped, stuck in the depths of a thick swamp. Wow, okay. Sometimes your brain just doesn't want to... Anyway, can you try to enjoy it? Or do I scare you that much? No, that's not it. Don't worry about me. Just continue. But you're trembling. I'm sorry. I can't stop it. You don't have to do anything for me. Just get it done with as fast as possible. Poor Ohgiya. He's like, I mean, okay, but like, I've practiced a lot. And... Spacey. I would live with it. I had to. It had to be done for Ohgiya. Unable to stop the shaking, I grasped his clothes as tight as I could. From then on, Ohgiya didn't say a single word. As if knowing my feelings, his fingers caressed me as little as possible. Only the bare minimum required for the act would suffice. This is so awkward. His hands touched my bare breasts, the first time by someone else. I was like, by someone else? Oh yeah, us. Obviously, we have to touch ourselves. You gotta clean yourself. I was just like confused for a second. I'm like, oh yeah. The sound that leaked from my lips was more of a shriek than a moan. Even so, I clamped my eyes shut and calmed my heart. However, this time his lips touched there. Tears poured out of my eyes. Though my heart was resolute, my eyes betrayed me. A small stream flowed down my face, gushing like a waterfall. I feel like Ohgiya is like, are you sure about this? Yes. And then she's crying and he's like, this just makes me feel really inappropriate. Like, this poor man. His sober eyes stared down at me. Unable to take any more, I covered my face with my hands. I was scared, frightened. This shouldn't be happening. I couldn't do this with someone I didn't love. Ohgiya's kiss felt much more pure and innocent. Why had it come to this? My heart and will finally broke. Sobbing. I'm sure Ohgiya is like, oh, thank God, we're going to stop, right? Because this is not sexy for me. The kind smile of my love flashed before my eyes. His purity was forfeit before the laws and practices of this place. Like me, he was hurt. He suffered, pained, and cried. Ohgiya could just lie and say he boned you. He's like, we could just lie about it. Would he lose himself? Would he lose his innocence and purity? I mean, yeah. Would his bashful smile and rosy cheeks be lost forever? Yeah, probably, eventually. He's gonna get so desensitized to it. Like, with you, he might stay that way forever because he loves you and it's innocent and your love is sweet and pure and everything. But, like, after years of just woman after woman after woman, yeah, I doubt he's gonna be as sweet and demure and cute. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's gonna get all jaded and like whatever, but he's not gonna be as like adorably fluffy bunny anymore. The young man who invited me over to smell his favorite smell, would all of him be lost? Most of it. Crying. Okay. I couldn't take it anymore. I buried my face in Asagiri's chest and started bawling. Asagiri finally spoke to me. You really love him, don't you? Yeah?
Hey, get down. No. Good boy. I know my sniff scared you, but that's no excuse to be on the counters in the kitchen. So don't go in the cabinets. We don't go up there, okay? You know better.
Yeah. I see. I'm sorry. I thought you knew you wanted this. I'm sorry. My tears just wouldn't stop. It was a pitiful sight. Asagiri held me close like a child. He lovingly stroked my back for a long, long time. The morning sun peeked between the window lattice. I couldn't even remember if I had slept or stayed awake. My memory was just a hazy mess. One thing was for certain, I felt empty and pathetic. Yeah, but not empty and pathetic because you had sex with a man you didn't love. So, I mean, there's that. Are you awake? Yeah. I answered, my voice weak and hollow. What a depressing morning it was. Asagiri sighed after seeing how miserable I looked. How about some breakfast? It looks like you need it. Okay. My eyes drooping low, I stared out the window. Never before had I despised how annoying the sun could be. Soon enough, the attendant came in with our breakfast. Asagiri and I ate in silence across from each other. After that, I quickly got ready to leave and walked out of the room. Just then, down the hall came the sounds of people moving about. It was probably courtesans coming and going to see off the guests. Can I have a quick word with you? Asagiri asked, leading me around the corner. He looked deep into my eyes and chose his words carefully. I'll keep what happened a secret to Gakuto and Utsusemi, and to Geha, of course. But what should I do if Musashi or my manager asks? Just say it went smoothly. All right, I understand. That was, however, far from the truth. Nothing happened at all, but I didn't want my mother to find out. She would still think I was immature if she knew. I bit my bottom lip with frustration. Shh! Stay quiet and get close to me. Asagiri suddenly pulled me in and hid me behind his long sleeves. I cautiously peeked out to see what was going on. Takagawa walked past while leading a woman from another room. They took no notice of us and disappeared towards the entrance. It's safe now. What was that for? You don't want anyone to know, right? He was right. I hoped no one would find out I came to lose my virginity. And furthermore, that I failed miserably. If anyone questioned me right then, I might break down and admit it. Thank you, Asagiri. You don't have to thank me. I'm really actually glad. Like, I understood what she was doing. So I was like, well, if it happens, I mean, I understand why. But I'm actually really glad it didn't. Because not because, oh my god, no, you can't do that to a Geha. It's more like, I don't think we should be sleeping with Asagiri until we're in his route. I feel bad for the man. like, no. We can't just, roll around with him for a little while and then abandon him. That just feels cold. So we shouldn't be having sex with that man because he'll get too attached to us. Because, we're magic. We have a magic vagina. It's really not because they fall in love with us before we sleep with them. But I'm just saying, in these games, it's usually you blinked at me and I'm in love with you. The fuck are the men who are going to fall instantly in love with me because, yeah, they're probably all creepy. Not even. They have better taste. I'm not that bad. I'm an asshole, but I'm not that bad. Anyway. I can at least do that much for you. He smiled. I knew he was a good person. And yet, look what I had forced him to do. Bear with you for an entire night and get paid for it? Well, he didn't actually have to have sex with you? I mean, then again, this was something that had to be done in order to purchase a Geha. I would have to pretend I was an experienced woman now. Again. One night. Okay. With new resolve, I looked up at Asagiri, still held within his arms. What? Why? Oh dear. I knew that soothing voice. My head wouldn't turn place by rust. What? Eventually, I twisted it enough to see who it was. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Look, You knew there was going to come a point where you purchased him, and he was like, but that means you slept with someone. You're like, no, we lied about it. It's cool. And you knew that was going to happen, but I didn't think it would happen right this second. Ohgiya, it was the one person I didn't want to run into. Oh no, not here, not now. Damn, misunderstanding. Oh, we're going to keep going for the next 5 minutes. I especially didn't want to run into Ohgiya, but nothing seemed to go right for me, so there he was. Spacey, why? Ohgiya. And Asagiri's like, fuck. Ohgiya's eyes were fixed on me. I was still cradled tight inside Asagiri's arms. His shocked eyes slowly collapsed into anguish and pain. A single tear dripped from the young man's eye. This one was different. Different than all the other tears on his face I had seen. It contained all of his sorrow, as if his heart was forsaken. Ohgiya, The moment I opened my mouth, he spun and dashed away. Oh no! Wait! His footsteps pounded away, shattering the tranquility of the still morning. I chased after him, several seconds late. However, he turned a corner and disappeared behind a sliding door. I ran up to it, prepared to chase him to the world's end. Ohgiya? But when I entered, there was no one present in that spacious room. Only the soft, pale sunlight filtering through the window was to be seen. A muffled sound came from a door on the opposite side of the room. Ohgiya, are you in there? I shouted his name desperately as I rushed to the door. Open it, please, Ohgiya. I heard a tiny hiccup from the other side. This is basically us last night. Ohgiya had to be there, behind that thin, frail door. Ohgiya? Ohgiya? Ohgiya! Frantically, I called for him, pounding my hands on the door. Please, open it! Ohgiya! Oh my god, I can't keep saying his name over and over. Ohgiya! Ohgiya! It just, after a while, his name sounds weird when you say it 7,000 times. Slamming the door had made my hands go numb. The inside of my nose ached with pain. My eyes blurred and burned. Why did everything always have to go wrong? Why did it end up this way every time? Were we just immature, or was it this island's pleasure district? Ohgiya. My voice trembled weakly. I hung my head, clinging feebly against the door. As my tears dripped to the floor, my legs gave out and I crumbled to my knees. Crying. More tears. My emotions were stuck inside, trapped by my heart. Why was it so painful? All I did was love someone, so why the need for so many tears? Just then, I faintly heard him rustle from the other side. I tried to call out his name, but my voice was blocked by a swelling of sobs. I'm sorry, I can't. My heart felt crushed. Helpless and useless, the recent events flashed before my eyes. Having my mother forsake me for falling in love. Attempting to make the ultimate sacrifice for my first love. It hurt so much, words couldn't describe it. But I was ready to go that far for him. Spacey. His small voice muttered faintly. In it. Oh, just got a dry spot in my throat. In it, I felt the traces of so much suffering. Ohgiya, I love you. I really do. I clung desperately to the sliding door. When I thought of him being just on the other side, I pressed against it with my hands as if to reach for him. So please, believe me. Only Ohgiya had a pure, untainted heart. He wouldn't lie to anyone or try to put up a front. That's why I fell for him. Not as the heir of Somei, but as a regular girl who had fallen in love. Ohgiya, I love you. You're the first person I've loved. I just want to be with you, more than for your deflowering. What will it take for you to see that? What do you mean? I don't understand. I'm saying, I want you more than that. I want to buy you. It sounds kind of fucked up when you say that. I want to free you. I want to buy your freedom, but I want to buy you! I mean, huh? The sliding door opened a few inches. Ohgiya! His face peeked out from the inside. A fountain of tears spilled from his amber eyes. I wish I could believe you. But why did you spend the night with Ohgiya? You would have kept it a secret from me if I hadn't seen. How can I believe you after that? His scream tore my heart into pieces. How could I tell him that I was about to give myself away just for him? Exactly like that. Wouldn't that just make him sad and earn his contempt? Ohgiya, please. I did it for you. You have to trust me. Reach for him. Ooh. I feel like it's probably, you have to trust me. But I hate that because he's like, how do I, because that's not answering the fucking question. How can I believe you? When the simple answer is to be like, in order to be able to purchase you, I have to be a experienced woman. And I couldn't stand the idea of somebody else having you. So I thought I'd give up my virginity to be able to buy you. So I did it for you, to me, is the answer, because that would be, I did it for you, and here's what I did. You know what I mean? Because you have to explain it. Now, we're not going to explain it. It's going to cause a huge misunderstanding, and it's going to be like, what chapter are we in? 7? 3 more chapters of misunderstanding before we resolve this shit, instead of where we just tell him exactly that. So I would say I did it for you because I want her to explain what she did and why. The right answer is reach for him. Okay. Not the one okay. I extended my hand slowly through the crack. I took hold of his trembling hand. I hoped my warmth would convey the feelings I had so much trouble with. I stared into his doubtful amber eyes with conviction. I promise, someday I'll tell you what all this means. I know it sounds foolish right now, but please, just trust me. Spacey. Ohgiya cracked open the door even further. Finally, his full figure was revealed to me. His face was soaked, and his fine, silky hair was a disheveled mess. But his eyes were crystal clear, shining bright and strong as always. Why? I'm weak and pathetic. You'll regret it for sure. See, look, I even made you cry. I'm the same way. You always cry when I'm around. No, that's only because I'm so weak. You aren't, though. I shook my head hard with teary eyes. You're beautiful. Beautiful. Your heart is more pure than anyone I've ever met, and that makes you beautiful. I didn't think this... I should have known. Well, like 5 more minutes. 3 hours later, because this part won't end. I mean, the scene. But... He shook his head strongly. Do you even think of me as much as I think of you? Every night I shut my eyes and see you in my dreams. It's kind of adorable how fucking, like, clingy and needy both of these two are, and I kind of love it. When I think of you, I get so excited I become useless. Ohgiya, I always want to see you so bad. It makes me all jittery. I throw out dozens of drafts whenever I write letters to you. And no matter where or when, I'm always thinking about you. You do? Actually, nothing makes me happier than being with you. I'm gonna cry, they're so adorable. I love you so much. His arms folded around me like a pair of delicate wings, so fragile and soft it almost wasn't there. He was expressing his feelings in the only way possible, a tender hug that revealed his true heart. You love me that much? Yeah, and for a long time. But saying it would just trouble you, since I'm just an apprentice. Ohgiya spilled his feelings to me. I wrapped my arms around him, completing his frail embrace. I love you too. I think about you just as much as you do about me. Spacey, really? Yes, I swear on it. His large, glistening eyes stared into mine patiently. I held his gaze, unwilling to let go for even a moment. Soon enough, our hands clasped around each other's as our faces came close. The distance that divided us slowly dwindled. Spacey. I'm not moaning. Our lips touched. It was our first kiss after opening our hearts to each other. It wasn't sweet or boiling with passion, but warm and seeping with emotion. Sorry. Our lips gently parted. Just then. Okay, we're going to stop here. Our lips gently parted. Just then. Just then! I'm going to cockblock you. We got to end this part anyway. We're 5 minutes over. But I just kind of wanted to, like, we had a few minutes, but that's what happens. It's never like a quick scene. It's always a long scene when you're coming to the end. But anyway, his route's really fucking good. Like, it's angsty, but it's like cute angsty. Like, it's not like Utsusemi's angsty where you're like, God damn it, Yoko, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna push her off a bridge. Where you're angry. This is like, oh my God, it's so warm and fuzzy and my heart might break. It's so cute kind of angst. It's really fucking good. Okay, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's just me and a bad memory, but I just feel like this one is so much better than Kikuya. I love our Kikuya boys. But I just feel like this one's better. I don't know. But anyway, we'll continue in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.